Day 256. 2 Corinthians 13. 1. This is the third time I am coming to you. By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word shall be established. 2. I had said this to you from the first, and again beforehand I am saying it, as also the second time when I was with you I said it to you, even now, as I am absent, I write to these who have sinned and to all the others, whom, if I come again, I shall not spare. 3. Because you seek a proof of the Messiah that he speaks in me, he who is not weak among you, but is mighty among you. 4. For although he was crucified in weakness, yet he lives by the power of Jehovah, and we also are weak with him, but we are living with him by the power of Jehovah, who is in you. 5. Examine your souls, whether you stand in the faith. 10. To your souls, or are you not aware that Yeshua the Messiah is in you, and that if not, you are worthless? 6. But I hope that you will know that we are not worthless. 7. But I ask of Jehovah that nothing evil shall be in you, so that our proofs may appear, but that you would be doing good, and we may be as if worthless. 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the cause of the truth. 9. But we rejoice whenever we are weak and you are strong, for we pray for this also, that you may be perfected. 10. Therefore, as I am absent I write these things, lest when I come, I deal severely according to the authority that my Elohim gives to me for your building up, and not for your destruction. 11. From now on, my brethren, rejoice, be perfected and be comforted, and harmony and peace shall be in you, and Jehovah of love and of peace shall be with you. 12. Greet one another with a holy kiss. 13. All of the saints invoke your peace. 14. The peace of our Elohim Yeshua the Messiah, the love of Jehovah and the fellowship of the Spirit of holiness, be with all of you. Amen. Numbers 20. 1. And the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, came into the wilderness of Sin, in the first month, and the people abode in caves, and Miriam died there, and was buried there. 2. And there was no water for the congregation, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and Aaron. 3. And the people reviled Moses, saying, Would we had died in the destruction of our brethren before Elohim. 4. And wherefore have ye brought up the congregation of Elohim into this wilderness, to kill us and our cattle? 5. And wherefore is this? Ye have brought us up out of Egypt, that we should come into this evil place, a place where there is no sowing, neither figs, nor vines, nor pomegranates, neither is there water to drink. 6. And Moses and Aaron went from before the assembly to the door of the tabernacle of witness, and they fell upon their faces, and the glory of Elohim appeared to them. 7. And Elohim spoke to Moses, saying, 8. Take thy rod, and call the assembly, thou and Aaron thy brother, and speak ye to the rock before them, and it shall give forth its waters, and ye shall bring forth for them water out of the rock, and give drink to the congregation and their cattle. 9. And Moses took his rod which was before Elohim, as Elohim commanded. 10. And Moses and Aaron assembled the congregation before the rock, and said to them, Hear me, ye disobedient ones, must we bring you water out of this rock? 11. And Moses lifted up his hand and struck the rock with his rod twice, and much water came forth, and the congregation drank, and their cattle. 12. And Elohim said to Moses and Aaron, Because ye have not believed me to sanctify me before the children of Israel, therefore ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. 13. This is the water of strife, because the children of Israel spoke insolently before Elohim, and he was sanctified in them. 14. And Moses sent messengers from Cades to the king of Edom, saying, Thus says thy brother Israel, Thou knowest all the distress that has come upon us. 15. And how our fathers went down into Egypt, and we sojourned in Egypt many days, and the Egyptians afflicted us and our fathers. 16. And we cried to Elohim, and Elohim heard our voice, and sent an angel and brought us out of Egypt, and now we are in the city of Cades, at the extremity of thy coasts. 17. We will pass through thy land, we will not go through the fields, nor through the vineyards, nor will we drink water out of thy cistern, we will go by the king's highway, we will not turn aside to the right hand or to the left, until we have passed thy borders. 18. And Edom said to him, Thou shalt not pass through me, and if otherwise, I will go forth to meet thee in war. 19. And the children of Israel say to him, We will pass by the mountain, and if I and my cattle drink of thy water, I will pay thee, but it is no matter of importance, we will go by the mountain. 20. And he said, Thou shalt not pass through me, and Edom went forth to meet him with a great host, and a mighty hand. 21. So Edom refused to allow Israel to pass through his borders, and Israel turned away from him. 22. And they departed from Cades, and the children of Israel, even the whole congregation, came to Mount Or. 23 And Elohim spoke to Moses and Aaron in Mount Or, on the borders of the land of Edom, saying, 24 Let Aaron be added to his people, for ye shall certainly not go into the land which I have given the children of Israel, because ye provoked me at the water of strife. 25 Take Aaron, and Eleazar his son, and bring them up to the mount or before all the congregation. 26 And take Aaron's apparel from off him, and put it on Eleazar his son, and let Aaron die there and be added to his people. 27 And Moses did as Elohim commanded him, and took him up to Mount Or, before all the congregation. 28 And he took Aaron's garments off him, and put them on Eleazar his son, and Aaron died on the top of the mountain, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. 29 And all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, and they wept for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. Jeremiah 31. 1 At that time, saith Elohim, I will be a Jehovah to the family of Israel, and they shall be to me a people. 2 Thus saith Elohim, I found him warm in the wilderness with them that were slain with the sword, go ye and destroy not Israel. 3 Elohim appeared to him from afar, saying, I have loved thee with an everlasting love, therefore have I drawn thee in compassion. 4 For I will build thee, and thou shalt be built, O Virgin of Israel, thou shalt yet take thy timbrel, and go forth with the party of them that make merry. 5 For ye have planted vineyards on the mountains of Samaria, plant ye, and praise. 6 For it is a day when those that plead on the mountains of Ephraim shall call, saying, Arise ye, and go up to Sion to Elohim your Jehovah. 7 For thus saith Elohim to Jacob, Rejoice ye, and exult over the head of the nations, make proclamation, and praise ye, say, Elohim has delivered his people, the remnant of Israel. 8 Behold, I bring them from the north, and will gather them from the end of the earth to the feast of the Passover, and the people shall beget a great multitude, and they shall return hither. 9 They went forth with weeping, and I will bring them back with consolation, causing them to lodge by the channels of waters in a straight way, and they shall not err in it, for I am become a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. 10 Hear the words of Elohim, ye nations, and proclaim them to the islands afar off, say, He that scattered Israel will also gather him, and keep him as one that feeds his flock. 11 For Elohim has ransomed Jacob, he has rescued him out of the hand of them that were stronger than he. 12 And they shall come, and shall rejoice in the mount of Sion, and shall come to the good things of Elohim, even to a land of corn, and wine, and fruits, and cattle, and sheep, and their soul shall be as a fruitful tree, and they shall hunger no more. 13 Then shall the virgins rejoice in the assembly of youth, and the old men shall rejoice, and I will turn their mourning into joy, and will make them merry. 14 I will expand and cheer with wine the soul of the priests the sons of Levi, and my people shall be satisfied with my good things, thus saith Elohim. 15 A voice was heard in Ramah, of lamentation, and of weeping, and wailing, Rachel would not cease weeping for her children, because they are not. 16 Thus saith Elohim, Let thy voice cease from weeping, and thine eyes from thy tears, for there is a reward for thy works, and they shall return from the land of thine enemies. 17 There shall be an abiding home for thy children. 18 I have heard the sound of Ephraim lamenting, and saying, Thou hast chastened me, and I was chastened, I as a calf was not willingly taught, turn thou me, and I shall turn, for thou art Elohim my Jehovah. 19 For after my captivity I repented, and after I knew, I groaned for the day of shame, and showed thee that I bore reproach from my youth. 20 Ephraim is a beloved son, a pleasing child to me, for because my words are in him, I will surely remember him, therefore I made haste to help him, I will surely have mercy upon him, saith Elohim. 21 Prepare thyself, O Sion, execute vengeance, look to thy ways, return, O Virgin of Israel, by the way by which thou wentest, return mourning to thy cities. 22 How long, O disgraced daughter, wilt thou turn away? For Elohim has created safety for a new plantation, men shall go about in safety. 23 For thus saith Elohim, they shall yet speak this word in the land of Judah, and in the cities thereof, when I shall turn his captivity, blessed be Elohim on his righteous holy mountain. 24 And there shall be dwellers in the cities of Judah, and in all his land, together with the husbandman, and the shepherd shall go forth with the flock. 25 For I have saturated every thirsting soul, and filled every hungry soul. 26 Therefore I awake, and beheld, and my sleep was sweet to me. 27 Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Elohim, when I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man, and the seed of beast. 28 And it shall come to pass, that as I watched over them, to pull down, and to afflict, so will I watch over them, to build, and to plant, saith Elohim. 29 In those days they shall certainly not say, the fathers ate a sour grape, and the children's teeth were set on edge. 30 But every one shall die in his own sin, and the teeth of him that eats the sour grape shall be set on edge. 31 Behold, the days come, saith Elohim, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah. 32 Not according to the covenant which I made with their fathers in the day when I took hold of their hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, for they abode not in my covenant, and I disregarded them, saith Elohim. 33 For this is my covenant which I will make with the house of Israel, after those days, saith Elohim, I will surely put my laws into their mind, and write them on their hearts, and I will be to them a Jehovah, and they shall be to me a people. 34 And they shall not at all teach every one his fellow citizen, and every one his brother, saying, Know Elohim, for all shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, for I will be merciful to their iniquities, and their sins I will remember no more. 35 Thus saith Elohim, who gives the sun for a light by day, the moon and the stars for a light by night, and makes a roaring in the sea, so that the waves thereof roar, Elohim Almighty is his name. 36 If these ordinances cease from before me, saith Elohim, then shall the family of Israel cease to be a nation before me forever. 37 Though the sky should be raised to a greater height, saith Elohim, and though the ground of the earth should be sunk lower beneath, yet I will not cast off the family of Israel, saith Elohim, for all that they have done. 38 Behold, the days come, saith Elohim, when the city shall be built to Elohim from the tower of Anamiel to the gate of the corner. 39 And the measurement of it shall proceed in front of them as far as the hills of Gareb, and it shall be compassed with a circular wall of choice stones. 40 And all the Asaramoth even to Nashal Kedron, as far as the corner of the horse gate eastward, shall be holiness to Elohim, and it shall not fail any more, and shall not be destroyed forever. Jeremiah 32. 1 The word that came from Elohim to Jeremias in the 10th year of King Sedekias, this is the 18th year of King Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon. 2 And the host of the king of Babylon had made a rampart against Jerusalem, and Jeremias was kept in the court of the prison, which is in the king's house. 3 In which King Sedekias had shut him up, saying, Wherefore dost thou prophesy, saying, Thus saith Elohim, Behold, I will give this city into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. 4 And Sedekias shall by no means be delivered out of the hand of the Chaldeans, for he shall certainly be given up into the hands of the king of Babylon. And his mouth shall speak to his mouth, and his eyes shall look upon his eyes. 5 And Sedekias shall go into Babylon, and dwell there. 6 And the word of Elohim came to Jeremias, saying, 7 Behold, Anamiel the son of Shalom thy father's brother is coming to thee, saying, Buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for thou hast the right to take it as a purchase. 8 So Anamiel the son of Shalom my father's brother came to me into the court of the prison, and said, Buy thee my field that is in the land of Benjamin, in Anathoth, for thou hast a right to buy it, and thou art the elder. So I knew that it was the word of Elohim. 9 And I bought the field of Anamiel the son of my father's brother, and I weighed him 17 shekels of silver. 10 And I wrote it in a book, and sealed it, and took the testimony of witnesses, and weighed the money in the balance. 11 And I took the book of the purchase that was sealed. 12 And I gave it to Baruch son of Nerias, son of Maaseias, in the sight of Anamiel my father's brother's son, and in the sight of the men that stood by and wrote in the book of the purchase, and in the sight of the Jews that were in the court of the prison. 13 And I charged Baruch in their presence, saying, Thus saith Elohim Almighty. 14 Take this book of the purchase, and the book that has been read, and thou shalt put it into an earthen vessel, that it may remain many days. 15 For thus saith Elohim, there shall yet be bought fields and houses and vineyards in this land. 16 And I prayed to Elohim after I had given the book of the purchase to Baruch the son of Nerias, saying, 17 O ever-living Elohim, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power, and with thy high and lofty arm, nothing can be hidden from thee. 18 Granting mercy to thousands, and recompensing the sins of the fathers into the bosoms of their children after them, the great, the strong Jehovah. 19 Elohim of great counsel, and mighty in deeds, the great almighty Jehovah, and Elohim of great name. Thine eyes are upon the ways of the children of men, to give to every one according to his way. 20 Who hast wrought signs and wonders in the land of Egypt even to this day, and in Israel, and among the inhabitants of the earth, and thou didst make for thyself a name. As at this day, 21 And thou didst bring out thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs, and with wonders, with a mighty hand, and with a high arm, and with great sights. 22 And thou gavest them this land, which thou didst swear to give to their fathers, a land flowing with milk and honey. 23 And they went in, and took it, but they hearkened not to thy voice, and walked not in thine ordinances, they did none of the things which thou didst command them, and they caused all these calamities to happen to them. 24 Behold, a multitude is come against the city to take it, and the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans that fight against it, by the power of the sword, and the famine, as thou hast spoken, so has it happened. 25 And thou sayest to me, Buy thee the field for money, and I wrote a book, and sealed it, and took the testimony of witnesses, and the city is given into the hands of the Chaldeans. 26 And the word of Elohim came to me, saying, 27 I am Elohim, the Jehovah of all flesh, shall anything be hidden from me? 28 Therefore thus saith Elohim Jehovah of Israel, this city shall certainly be delivered into the hands of the king of Babylon, and he shall take it. 29 And the Chaldeans shall come to war against this city, and they shall burn this city with fire, and shall burn down the houses wherein they burnt incense on the roofs thereof to Baal, and poured drink offerings to other gods, to provoke me. 30 For the children of Israel and the children of Judah alone did evil in my sight from their youth. 31 For this city was obnoxious to my anger and my wrath, from the day that they built it even to this day, that I should remove it from my presence. 32 Because of all the wickedness of the children of Israel and Judah, which they wrought to provoke me, they and their kings, and their princes, and their priests, and their prophets, the men of Judah, and the dwellers in Jerusalem. 33 And they turned the back to me, and not the face, whereas I taught them early in the morning, but they hearkened no more to receive instructions. 34 And they set their pollutions in the house, on which my name was called, by their uncleannesses. 35 And they built to Baal the altars that are in the valley of the son of Enom, to offer their sons and their daughters to King Moloch, which things I commanded them not, neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination, to cause Judah to sin. 36 And now thus has Elohim Jehovah of Israel said concerning this city, of which thou sayest, It shall be delivered into the hands of the king of Babylon by the sword, and by famine, and banishment. 37 Behold, I will gather them out of every land, where I have scattered them in my anger, and my wrath, and great fury, and I will bring them back into this place, and will cause them to dwell safely. 38 And they shall be to me a people, and I will be to them a God. 39 And I will give them another way, and another heart, to fear me continually, and that for good to them and their children after them. 40 And I will make with them an everlasting covenant, which I will by no means turn away from them, and I will put my fear into their heart, that they may not depart from me. 41 And I will visit them to do them good, and I will plant them in this land in faithfulness, and with all my heart, and with all my soul. 42 For thus saith Elohim, as I have brought upon this people all these great evils, so will I bring upon them all the good things which I pronounced upon them. 43 And there shall yet be fields bought in the land, of which thou sayest, It shall be destitute of man and beast, and they are delivered into the hands of the Chaldeans. 44 And they shall buy fields for money, and thou shalt write a book, and seal it, and shalt take the testimony of witnesses in the land of Benjamin, and round about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, and in the cities of the mountain, and in the cities of the plain, and in the cities of the south, for I will turn their captivity. Psalms 147. 1 Alleluia, a psalm of Aggeus and Zacharias. Praise ye Elohim, for psalmody is a good thing, let praise be sweetly sung to our Jehovah. 2 Elohim builds up Jerusalem, and he will gather together the dispersed of Israel. 3 He heals the broken in heart, and binds up their wounds. 4 He numbers the multitudes of stars, and calls them all by names. 5 Great is our Elohim, and great is his strength, and his understanding is infinite. 6 Elohim lifts up the meek, but brings sinners down to the ground. 7 Begin the song with thanksgiving to Elohim, sing praises on the harp to our Jehovah. 8 Who covers the heaven with clouds, who prepares rain for the earth, who causes grass to spring up on the mountains, and green herb for the service of men. 9 And gives cattle their food, and to the young ravens that call upon him. 10 He will not take pleasure in the strength of a horse, neither is he well pleased with the legs of a man. 11 Elohim takes pleasure in them that fear him, and in all that hope in his mercy. 12 Alleluia, a psalm of Aggeus and Zacharias. Praise Elohim, O Jerusalem, praise thy Jehovah, O Sion. 13 For he has strengthened the bars of thy gates, he has blessed thy children within thee. 14 He makes thy borders peaceful, and fills thee with the flour of wheat. 15 He sends his oracle to the earth, his word will run swiftly. 16 He gives snow like wool, he scatters the mist like ashes. 17 Casting forth his ice like morsels, who shall stand before his cold? 18 He shall send out his word, and melt them, he shall blow with his wind, and the waters shall flow. 19 He sends his word to Jacob, his ordinances and judgments to Israel. 20 He has not done so to any other nation, and he has not shown them his judgments.